So Asmongold reacted to this video, and a bunch of other VTubers did too, and I wanted to go and see what it's about and give my take on it. Yeah. So that's what we're here to do. The problem with women in games and why it's killing Kai. This should be interesting. So yeah. Anyways, I ain't got much else for this intro, and I feel like if I say more, I'm just gonna screw it up. So, you know, like, comment, subscribe, you know, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Check out my gaming channel if you want. All that good stuff. And without further ado, let's jump right into the video now, shall we?
Hi, I
Hello.
think I'm starting to spiral here. In every other kind of media, shows, books, movies, we expect characters to be these complex, emotionally layered, and oftentimes attractive people. CD Projekt Red gave us Geralt in a bathtub, and the entire internet said absolute cinema. But when a female game character is hotter, suddenly it's like the studio committed some kind of war crime.
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's just crazy whenever that happens. They see a hot woman and they go ballistic. Like, it's absolutely nuts. And it's just like, why? Why are we doing this? What's the issue? I don't get it. And whatever answer they give is just, it's complete nonsense. Like, every time. The most answer you'll ever get out of it is like, it's gooner bait, it's gooner bait. And it's just like, shut the hell up. Who cares? Like, who actually cares? Like, just be for real, who cares? I don't care if it's gooner bait. I really don't. And yeah, like she said, it's only with women. It's never with men. Never with men. You can do whatever you want with men, they don't care. But the moment you get a hot woman or whatever, that's when the Twitter freaks come out and they go ballistic. Yep.
Somewhere between 2014 and now, these types of women just started disappearing more and more from our Western games. You know, women who had beauty and charm and mystery, lip gloss, and the ability to just ruin your life with a single dialogue option.
Jesus.
So let's talk about the modern female protagonist.
Yeah, they've definitely gone down in attractiveness, yeah.
How did you feel when I said that? Yeah, that's what I thought. Typically, they're more emotionally walled off. They're vaguely angry, honestly. Me too. They have tactical everything, tragic backstories, but a lot of times won't talk about it with you. Muted color palettes, and no cute hairstyles or makeup or joy, and they normally display more masculine traits. And I'm not—
I think of Rey from Star Wars, like, just whenever she goes for that, that's who I think of, you know. Also made me think of those memes, and it's like, name one character who has had it worse than Rey, and it's just like, so many! There's so many! Yeah. Oh, Christ. But yeah, that's who came to mind whenever I was just thinking that. Of course, there's other characters, like the example she just provided, because, Christ. But, yeah, that's who I thought of, yeah.
not saying that these characters can never work, but if they're not done extremely well, the issue isn't just that so many of them fall flat, it's that they don't resonate at all. They're not iconic, they're not aspirational, and they're just not the kind of character you want to think about after the credits roll. And just like the women that I obsess over in all my books and TV shows, the smart, complex, stunning characters, I just want to aspire to the character that I'm playing in a game. She should feel powerful and gorgeous and emotionally relatable in a way that makes sense. But most of the leads that we're getting nowadays, they're not memorable. And let's be honest, they're not exactly breaking the internet. Okay, at least in a good way.
Yeah.
The characters that really—
and some of them are just completely unlikable too. Like, what was the protagonist name from Veilguard? What was it, Tosh or something? I don't know. I think that's what it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, she was just completely unlikable from what I heard. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure everyone applauded in the bad ending where all the characters died. I know I did whenever I figured that out, and so did many others. Yep. You know, I was just thinking about that. You know, maybe some of these game studios could, you know, earn back some good faith by just adding in bad endings for these characters. Because they're like, yeah, we know we're not going to like these characters because we absolutely woke them up. And, you know, we'll just add in a bad ending where all of the characters die or something. And then people will clap. Yeah. Yeah. That, or we just have to wait for the fan animations to do it instead, yeah.
stand out.
Like that one fan animation with the Velma. Yeah. If you know what I'm talking about, then yeah. That needed to happen because God, that was a horrible show. How did it get a season 2? Oh yeah, they hate watching. That's well.
That make a difference. They've got it all. They've got the looks and the charm and the presence and the personality, and they've got the things that make people care, or at least cosplay. Well, we didn't want to over-sexualize her. Okay, that's fine. I'm on board with that. But somewhere along the way, that turned into she can't flirt, or cry, or be too gentle, or smile too much, or wear makeup. Yes, sorry, I'm gonna hit on that a little bit today. We went from don't objectify her to don't let her feel like a real person. And she can be strong, but not soft, beautiful, but only if it's on accident. Heaven forbid she has feelings and good hair at the same time. And I think about this every time that I get the opportunity to make a custom character in a game.
Speaking of custom character, I can't tell whether this is supposed to be a man or a woman, if I'm being real. Like, I really cannot tell. Like, that, it was just bugging me, and I had to say something, because it's just, yeah, I had to say something.
She is always a baddie that has lore. Winged eyeliner, mysterious aura. Every NPC in the game is in love with her. And
I wouldn't call some of these female characters in video games and fiction and everything mysterious aura. I'd more so refer to it as cringe aura personally, but that's just me.
Honestly, they should be, okay? My tab in Baldur's Gate 3. An angel. She walks into a scene and the lighting just poof gets better. Gale starts sweating and Asterion is chomping at the bit. Shadowheart's having some conflictions and her inventory is even more iconic. She's got 3 cursed rings, an apple, and a morally questionable tiara that she just doesn't want to take off. And it just makes you wonder, because if certain games let you create characters with so much charm and magnetism, why can't games with dedicated female leads do the same thing? Well, what are some of the more recent female...
Sweet Baby Ink is one of the reasons why, yeah. Oh, and look at this. Forspoken, Outlaws, Veilguard, here we go.
Leads that we've been graced with.
Which are all games that have had just woke nonsense injected into it. I don't know if Forspoken had that. If that is what I think it is, I think Forspoken was just a bad game in general. I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't know. I think it was just a bad game. I don't know if they had Sweet Baby Ink involved in it, but if it did, let me know in the comments. If it didn't, then well, guess it was just a bad game in general.
I think about Frey from Forspoken. She can fight dragons and bend the laws of physics and literally parkour across dimensions. That's super cool. But for some reason, they gave her the most awkward dialogue and had her deliver every line like she was on hold with customer service.
Yeah, then from what I heard, she was just entirely unlikable too. Like, people just hated her. So yeah, I didn't look too much at Forspoken. I look at like 2 minutes of Moist Critical playing it. I was just like, yeah, I'm good.
On mute. What about Kay Vess from Star Wars Outlaws? She's a scrappy space outlaw, in theory. In practice, she kind of just plays like she just respawned from a bug and isn't sure where she is or why she's there. Okay, well, what about female Ivor from Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Actually, she was canonically the real one. But you probably wouldn't know that, because even Ubisoft was like, dang, that's crazy. Anyway, check out this guy's beard. Or Dragon Age The Veilguard. This game was like 10 years in the oven, and somehow it still came out soggy.
Yeah, that's...
It often felt cringy instead of charming, and there really wasn't much mystery, but there was a lot of lecturing. And instead of emotionally rich companions, we kind of just got chronically online Twitter bios and fantasy outfits. I think you get the point, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We need female characters with range, with presence, with a little drama, if you will. The girls who made you feel something were not perfect. They were messy and charismatic and complicated in the best way. Sadie Adler from Red Dead 2, her husband literally dies and she goes, cool, I'm going feral now. And grieving? Yes. Stunning? Yes. Horse girl? Absolutely. But I would let her run me over with that horse. Chloe Frazier from Uncharted. She's flirty and morally flexible and somehow still makes betrayal feel hot. Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy. She could literally take down a behemoth in one hit and then quietly make you some soup and ask if you've been sleeping okay. Max from Life is Strange.
Yeah, she'll beat the shit out of you, but she'll still bake you a nice meal, you know.
Range, a super sweet, anxious girl who accidentally rewrote the entire space-time continuum just because she had too many feelings, and honestly, we love a relatable queen. Or Nabooru from the Legend of Zelda series. She leads armies and fights evil, and somehow she still looks like she's posing for a Vogue cover the entire time. Probably my first girl crush. This should not be controversial, but I'll say it. We need to bring back great male leads. Okay? And not because women can't carry a story, but because we've just like chucked balance off a cliff. It seems like the knee-jerk reaction to underrepresentation accusations became all female everything forever, no notes. And now, after we've gotten so many forgettable female leads, not you, Ellie and Aloy. But with all the others, we've hit this weird place where the audience is already exhausted before the trailer even ends. And unfortunately, caught in the crossfires of this has been Naughty Dog's new IP, Intergalactic, and Ghost of Yote. But when I think about just well-written women in games, what's interesting is some of gaming's best women were not even the protagonist, but they were the scene stealers. Ciri from The Witcher 3 is quite literally the entire reason that Geralt is risking his life across these war-torn kingdoms, and she's this complicated, beautiful, just wild young girl who's somehow still more mature than everyone else around her. Or Yuna from Final Fantasy X, this graceful, selfless, and devastating character who's literally carrying the hopes of an entire world on her back, and then she still apologizes when she inconveniences you. And if that's not being a girl, I don't know what is. Or Midna from Twilight Princess. All right, she's a little bit annoying at first, but she bullies Link for like the first 30 hours of the game, saves his life, opens a dimensional portal, and then vanishes all with a glowing tear. He never says a word to her the entire game, but she says everything with her absence. Truly a legendary situation. And while Western games are nervously nerfing kind of every trace of femininity from their female characters, Eastern devs are like, yeah, here's a mysterious woman who could kill you and make you cry about it. You're welcome. Capcom? They've been in their iconic woman era since like forever. Resident Evil is one of my all-time favorite series, and Jill is tactical, calm, and easily has the cleanest bob in gaming. Ada is mysterious, stylish, and she might lie to your face, but she's still gonna get a fan cam. Claire is this beautiful, kind, capable woman who take—
Yeah, we need more characters like this. We need more female characters like these in our games, but you know what? I'm just gonna say it. These video game companies, they just seem to be anti-women. I'm going out and saying it. Just there.
Zero nonsense. And Lady D had like 10 minutes of screen time in Village, and she still owned Halloween.
Yeah, she. Yeah, people really like her, and yeah, I don't need to explain why. Yeah, you can figure it out for yourself. Yeah. It don't take a genius to figure out why the internet fell in love with Lady D.
For like the next 2 years. They're hot, they're cool, they've got so much range, and you remember them. You want to be them, or you just kind of want them to emotionally damage you just a little bit. It's the same kind of energy with Monster Hunter Wilds. They dropped a couple of composed, stunning women, and the internet instantly started to cosplay. They're expressive and graceful, and they've just got that magnetism about them. And that's why the boys are in love.
I don't know. This just remind them. The internet immediately cosplaying the girls from Monster Hunter just reminded me of like what happens every time a new Pokemon trailer comes out, because you already know, because for those who don't know, anytime a new Pokemon trailer comes out and there's like a new woman in it, you already know it's going to be on Rule 34 like within like the next hour or two, like every time. Seriously, like just you should have seen it. It's like whenever Sword and Shield came out, and it was just like the amount of Sonya art, like just Christ. And that is never going to change.
The girls are in love, and I am in love. And then we've got From Software, who just casually releases the most haunting, elegant women in modern gaming like it's nothing. The doll from Bloodborne, our favorite Victorian comfort character. She's soft-spoken, she's gentle, and she definitely knows more than she's letting on. Or Lady Maria, tragic, terrifying character with perfect posture, and 10 out of 10, I would let her fight me again. Or Ronnie from Elden Ring, who I was quite literally on my knees for, and I made sure to do every single step of her quest so I could serve her as me Elden Lord. Or Melina. Melina was so glowing and quiet and just sad.
The amount of art I've seen from the Elden Ring girls on Twitter and everything is For one, really good art, and the amount of it, mind-blowing. And yeah, I can see why, yeah.
And then when she leaves you at the sight of Grace, like, my work here is done. And you're just devastated, and you're just sitting there all by yourself.
You're like, come back!
In your little tunic. These ladies do not need exposition dumps or 80 cutscenes. They just show up and drip elegance, drop one line of vague sorrow, and then next thing you know, you're obsessing over cosplays and fan art for like the next month. I say all of this because femininity is not outdated. It's not shallow, and it's not something that you need to water down for the story to be taken seriously. It's range. So please let women be cute and manipulative, kind and a little chaotic, soft but have sharp teeth, pretty, powerful, emotionally devastating, and the reason the protagonist starts journaling in a cave somewhere. Because femininity is Zelda, steadfast and radiant, and standing between her kingdom and ruin with nothing but hope and stubborn grace. Or Triss, who's clever and compassionate and plays politics with you with a super soft smile that just makes you kind of forget that she's winning. Or Bayonetta, who's playful and provocative and treats...
I like how we brought her up, but you know, that's another example of Twitter losing its shit, because, you know, I think what made Twitter go even nuts was that one picture of her having a family and a kid and everything. That really made them lose their shit. Like, just the freak out from what the, oh my god, damn Discord. But yeah, that really made them lose their shit though, and the meltdown was hilarious. Yeah. It's like they'll build a narrative, like some headcanon, and they'll just like set it in stone as like, this is the narrative that you must follow, and then it just gets broken by the creator just like that, and then they just go nuts, and it's always hilarious.
Treats every battlefield like a runway and then never manages to smudge her lipstick. Or Lightning, who's a beautiful, guarded, and grieving character who carries the entire weight of the world in 6-inch heels. And when female characters are done right, they're not flat, or abrasive, or weak. They're actually narrative gold. They have tension and softness that stabs, or beauty as a weapon. Let's let women be gorgeous and terrifying, sweet and strategic, gentle and unhinged. Let them be feminine again.
I agree. They really need to start doing all of that again. Yeah. This is a good video. I very much enjoyed it. I just want the Asmongold's reaction to this video, and I like one of the comments on saying they said that Asmon got a woman over 20k subscribers by reacting to her video, and Twitter will still call him a woman hater. And yeah, this was a really good video though, and I agreed on just about everything. Yeah, that was really good. You can see why a lot of people were reacting to this. So, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video now. So if you enjoyed it, check out the original one. It'll be linked in the description below. Go check out the background NPC. She'll be linked in the description below as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Check out my gaming channel if you want. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.